Hi guys, welcome back to the Library of Alexandria. And today I'm going to talk about my March TBR and the books that I plan on reading in March. This is probably going to be pretty short because it's still kind of a catch-up month for me, but I actually have very few new additions this month for reasons that I will discuss momentarily. And so this is going to be really used to wrap up some of these things that I've tried to finish since the beginning of the year and progress with a couple series and, see what's what. In April, there should be a bunch of new stuff, provided that everything goes according to plan. So without wasting any more time, let's get down to business. Let's go ahead and talk about the books that I plan on reading in March. Now, March is my birthday month, and so it's good that this is actually kept pretty small because spring break is also in March, and I know for a fact that I will be traveling because Busch Gardens has finally opened the Bleeding Iron Gwazi. They have finally opened this coaster. It's supposed to open 2 years ago, March, but 2 years ago, March, COVID. So, I've been waiting for this coaster to open for 2 years. I'm so happy it's finally open. Going for my birthday. Gonna go ride the coaster and see some people down in South Florida as well. So, but first on this list is Boosh, The Tyrant's Law by Daniel Abraham. This is book 3 of the Dagger and Coin series, and man, book 2, The King's Blood, was so good. It just improved on the first book in every way. Once I'm done with this, I've read Age of Ash, I have read Long Press Quartet, and once I'm done with this, I will have read all of his standalone fantasy novels, or solo fantasy novels, and, I'll just have to read The Expanse. But I'm excited. I can't really talk much about what this is about because it is book 3, but man, I am so excited to see where this goes based on the events of the second book. Now, some people who I've talked to say that the book takes a turn, and I don't know what kind of turn that's going to make. I can't even possibly predict. But as always, Abraham has amazing character work. The characters are even more interesting in the second book than they were in the first book. I cannot wait to read this. This will be the first book that I read in the month after I finish the thing that I'm currently reading. Next up, we have Boosh, The Devil You Know. So this is a KJ Parker novella. And Zara and I are reading something KJ Parker pretty much every month. Last month it was The Company, which was fortunate. That was my patron pick. But this is the second novella starring Saturninus, who is the alchemist slash philosopher character from Blue and Gold. And I'm interested to see where Saturninus is, considering the ending of Blue and Gold. But in this one, apparently someone has summoned like this uber-powerful demon known as the Father of Lies. And it is up to the greatest philosopher in the world, Saturninus, to go up against him. And even the tagline is, "The Father of Lies is about to meet his match," which is probably true, because Saturninus is freaking brilliant. If you want to see more about Saturninus, go read Blue and Gold. It is a novella. It's in one of the novella collections, and it is very, very interesting, as many things are. One thing about Blue and Gold is it had a lot of alchemical just descriptions. You want to know how to freaking turn lead into gold? Go read Blue and Gold. It'll tell you exactly how to do it. I'm wondering if there's going to be as much alchemy stuff in this one. The alchemy stuff slowed me down a little bit in Blue and Gold, so if there's no alchemy in this, I don't know. Maybe I'll like this one even better. There is a third Saturninus novella called The Big Score that came out, I think, last year, that we'll be reading after this. But yeah, Devil You Know. It's weird because Blue and Gold and Big Score are both the little subterranean press, little hardbacks, and then this one is Tor. I don't know why the middle one is of different publication. Who knows? Next on this list is Boosh, The God Is Not Willing by Stephen Erickson, and this is book 1 of the Witness trilogy. This takes place after the events of the main 10 books of Malazan Book of the Fallen. I don't know what is past in like the novels of the Malazan Empire. But the interesting thing about this is this will be my first Malazan read in over a year. I finished The Crippled God in January of 2021, and I have not read anything Malazan since then. I have not made a Malazan video since like my 4th or 5th video on my channel, which was my Memories of Ice review. So that was like 2 years ago. So with this, I'm finally going to return to some Malazan content on my channel. I am actually reading this along with Joanna. She has just finished the main series and was going to move into this, and I'm like, we should read it. And I think Jimmy also is going to join reading this with us. So that will be awesome. I will probably get them to talk about it once it's done. So that'll be freaking cool as well. I'm super pumped to read this. Everyone who has read this has told me that I'm going to love it because apparently the Marines are involved more than usual, and I love me some Marines. And this cover art is amazing, and it also, Witness, has something to do with one of my favorite Malazan characters, Witness. I'm so excited to read this as well. And the icing on le cake. It is only like 490 pages instead of 1,200. Glory be and the saints be praised, the year of the short fantasy book. And by short, I consider any book that's under 500 pages for fantasy to be short. So this one gets it, but just barely. Also, because this, if I'm going to read it, it's going to be this month. It's going to be Boosh, Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. This is apparently about a heist. I think a character in here is based on Ben Barnes. And they get together and I think rob the Atlantic Casino in Las Vegas, or maybe it's the Luxor. It's one of the Vegas casinos. So yeah, this is a punishment book. I don't know when, it hasn't been quite a year, but it's been a long time since I finished that video. And I lost, and I have to read this. And I am good for my word, so I will read this. I need to, because I got more challenge things in the wings. We got to do Blindfold Book Challenge Part 3. I lost the first one poorly. Won the second one. Gotta have a Part 3. So, yeah, I mean, this is like 500 pages, but I can't imagine it's gonna like be hard to read. I'll probably vlog this one just because some of you really like to see how much I dislike some of the things that happen. I hope there's Grishas in this at the very least. Other than those books, I still have The Long Game, which is a KJ Parker arc that I have to get that read for beginning of the month and out before it's actually released, or else NetGalley will be mad at me. And if there's any more time for physical reading, I'll probably read Weird Sisters, the next witch book of Terry Pratchett, or start The Scarab Path, Book 5 of The Shadows of the Apt, which I want to continue and haven't had time. As far as audiobooks are concerned, I will definitely be listening to Grave Peril, Book 3 of the Dresden Files. I enjoyed Book 2. I enjoyed Full Moon way more than Stormfront. And Jimmy and I are going to have a discussion about Stormfront and Full Moon pretty soon. Sarah, I think, from Sarah Reads will be joining us. Grave Peril, I'm going to continue with Dresden, so that'll be fun. James Marshall does a great job in the audiobook, but I read part of Full Moon audiobook and then I switched it to physical book and just tore through it. So I may even read that physically. Otherwise, audio, I will be listening to maybe Providence of Fire, which is book 2 of the Unhewn, Chronicles of the Unhewn Throne books. I'm not sure if I am or not. So, if you have been joining us for the February the Unhewn Throne read-along, where we read The Emperor's Blades by Brian Staveley, it has not gone exceedingly well. So I think there's like 50 of us who read it. I'm still working my way through. I switched to audio, and I'm enjoying it much more on audio than I was when I was reading it. Simon Vance is a brilliant audiobook narrator. But of the 50 or so people who read it for the read-along, the highest it was given was 4 stars. That's the highest. And only like 2 or 3 people gave it that. Most everyone else has gone from to open contempt. And that's disappointing, because when you do a read-along, you want people to enjoy it. Now, in my defense, there were 3 options to vote for the read-along. This was the one that was voted for by more than double what the second place had. So I personally did not vote for this one. I wanted to read it, that's why it was on the list, but it is not the one that I voted for, because I will always vote for KJ Parker if he appears on the lists. So I did another poll on my Discord, and it was fairly close, but really, though, let's read something else, people won, and even if we had continued, we're just continuing with people reading something that they're just kind of about. So we will have a live show with me and Sarah and Jimmy and Jake Bishop talking about The Emperor's Blades. If you have been part of the February of the Unhewn Throne and you want to keep reading The Providence of Fire and The Last Mortal Bond, those channels will still be up in the Discord, and that'll still go along. I'm still going to finish them because I don't like leaving series undone, and I don't hate it. It's just, I mean, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine to, not quite fine. Thank you, Simon Vance. So if I do read Providence of Fire, there's a 0% chance I'm going to read it physically. if I do read it, it will be on audio. And that's fine, I like audiobooks. I need something while I'm commuting, totally fine. So I may read that on audio as well. We'll see. But after this month, I should be caught up. 2 more books left of Dagger and Coin. I hope to have, continued Shadow the Apt, but I will be done with my punishment book. I will have read God Is Not Willing, which I've been meaning to do. I will have read all my arcs that I foolishly took a bunch of and shouldn't have, and I will be able to, start some fresh stuff and continue some more series in April. So guys, what are you planning on reading in March? Did you read Emperor's Blades? What were your thoughts? If you finished the Unhewn Throne series, what did you think of books 2 and 3? I know there are a bunch of people who want to get through those because they've heard that the standalone prequel and then The Empire's Ruin is fantastic. It's just been kind of disappointing because, the Red Rising, Feb Rising read-along went really well. The Shadows of the August of the Apt read-along went really well. And this one just kind of fizzled out. So, regardless, what are you reading in March? Will I like Six of Crows? Have you read K.J. Parker yet? If you haven't, please pick it up. Keep in mind, March is also the month of the Tournament of Champions of Book Jeopardy, so make sure you don't miss out on that. It'll probably be at the end of the month. Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, information about my Patreon and Discord is down in the description, and I'll see you next time, guys.